Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. We are live from New Jersey, sitting in our parents' houses. Good morning, Carla Marie.
Good morning, Anthony. Can everybody hear me? That's
what?
Close on my face.
That's why I sent you a picture of it earlier.
I know. I just backed up.
We had some technical issues today. For some reason, the GoPro that we use every day, it just decided to keep freezing as we were trying to get things ready today. So that was an issue. But we are here with my crappy webcam that does not look nearly as good.
Oh, you're not using the GoPro. I'm using the iPhone camera thing that I can hand off.
No, the interesting thing with a lot of computers that are built for gaming and streaming is they don't have good webcams. And you might be like, well, if you're streaming or gaming, why would you not want a good webcam? Because they assume that if you are spending that much money on your computer, you're also going to get a real dedicated webcam. You're not going to use the little tiny guy up here at the top of your monitor.
But that is a real thing. Like you're saying, is that like a rumor? Like that they assume
that's why they do it. I mean, there are gaming PCs or not gaming PCs. There are gaming laptops that are built with no camera at all because they just assume everyone's going to get their own if they care about streaming that much. We've got hello from the Jersey Shore. Where's everyone checking in from this morning as we get started?
Apparently, it's freezing everywhere, like you said, and Buffalo is supposed to get 4 feet of snow this weekend.
Yeah, 4 to 6 feet. And they have a home game there in Buffalo.
That's what rumor has it.
No, it's not a rumor. It's on the schedule. It's been on the schedule for quite some time.
Are you sure? Do you know football? I don't think you do.
Well, you know football, Carla Marie.
I do know football very well. It's a bye week for the Seahawks. Well, yeah, it is now.
It is.
I've been seeing some of the players like on a little vacation.
Yeah, normally because they still have to work for some of that time, but I think they get like 4 days off between the 2 weeks or something like that, between the two games. Let's see, we got Miami, Connecticut, Wichita, New Jersey, Siesta Key. Shout out to, there's a lot of people in Florida right now. Seattle, obviously, Pennsylvania, northern Minnesota. It's got to be the coldest there, right?
Minnesota's 28 right now, I saw someone say. Or no, that was Milwaukee.
You know what we should do? Instead of telling us where you're from, tell us the temperature where you're at so we can see who's got the lowest one. And don't give us the current temperature. Sorry.
Current temperature for me is 42 degrees.
Well, I guess I'm probably the same, right? 42 here in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Which, by the way, we both got to Jersey yesterday, and I guess they're doing something here in Ridgewood
60.
where they are replacing all of the gas lines, like throughout the entire town.
Oh.
Right now, they're in front of my parents' house, though, and they've got basically 2 blocks of our street closed off. And there aren't a lot of houses on this block because there's a park and whatnot. But I feel like I'm in a third world country when I drive in and out of my parents' house because there's like 3 security checkpoints that I have to be like, no, guys, I live there. I'm allowed to continue driving. I got this morning when I went to go get my Taylor ham, egg, and cheese, I was coming back from Midland Park, and I was waiting because they had the road closed, so I had to wait for all the cars that were coming out of the street so I can go around the little blockade. And the cop car that was there turned on his siren to like remind me that it was closed. I had to roll down my window and yell out the window like, I live there. Please let me go. And he gave me the wave. And then I was going around, and 3 other people tried to stop me. 1 cop and 2 construction workers.
Oh my God! They should put like a sign on your car.
You would think there, but I guess anyone can recreate that, and not that there's nowhere to go here. I don't know.
Who's going to do that?
That would be a good idea, though. Give all the houses on that block
like just an orange flyer to put in your car, or
a little sign. You hold it out of your window while you're driving.
An orange flyer to put in your car.
Orange
car. Your car.
So what was
It's 16. I saw as the winner.
Oh, and where is that?
That was just in Minnesota.
Oh, see, that's why I said earlier. It's got to be the coldest there.
Yeah.
All right. A couple things on the list today. Obviously, we are live from New Jersey. The You Look Great store is open, but will close on November 27th. And we were able to get our merch. So this is the You Look Great green one. I am wearing a large. I'll post a better picture of it later on Instagram at Worst Anthony. Carla Marie, what size are you wearing?
Small.
Small?
Yeah,
I thought you do like a large in crew necks or something.
I told the people not for this one because this is a different style.
Oh, right,
so
hold
on. I unrolled it, not rolled it, but like the band was tucked under. I put a video of it. Oh no,
Oh,
oh
you
no.
unplugged yourself. We can hear you from your computer now. They are really like, I saw that Naz Mama in the chat said so cute. I love this green one, and it actually fits really, really well. So I'm wearing a large. I'm 5'11", like 190 and 195 pounds, something like that right now. And this fits me perfectly. Like, I'm a big fan of this. It's very comfortable too.
I'm back, sorry. I unplugged my mic.
Okay, you're back. You're fine.
Okay.
Everybody, we have an announcement to make. The one and only Holla at Hav is in the chat. So if anyone, don't block him when he starts trolling me. He is allowed. He's a friend.
He is encouraged.
I don't know if he's encouraged. He's allowed,
is encouraged. Though. So anyway, the holiday crew necks for adults, the green, red, and gray, when compared to our other crew necks, are about I believe it's a half an inch larger in every dimension when compared by size. So the small, medium, and large, these are a half an inch bigger in every dimension.
But as we all know, size doesn't matter. It's the fabric in the sweater or something. I don't know how the saying goes anymore. I did want to read out an email, though, that we got yesterday. This is a quick one, and it was from Mike. He said, "Hey, it's Mike from New Hampshire. Just checking in because I've not been live on the Twitch chat for weeks now. I was let go from my job back in July after 16 years. It took me 4 months to find a new job, and I started on Halloween. My old job was work from home. This one is in the office, so now I'm not able to watch live. I miss the chat interaction, but I do watch the replays on Twitch when I can. During my lunch break, I still listen to the morning show podcast so I can stay up to date with that daily.
Cool.
I also bought a red and green You Look Great crew neck. My wife might kill me if I get any more You Look Great gear. Just wanted to let you know that I'm still a fan, even if I'm not watching live. Keep being great and making us laugh. Signed, Mike."
That's awesome.
And I think the cool thing about what we get to do now, if we can pull back the curtains for a second, is there are so many ways to be a part of this show. Mm-hmm. And back in the day when we were on the radio, if you couldn't listen to us live on the radio in Seattle specifically, in a weird way, you didn't count towards the numbers that mattered for our employment, right?
Yeah.
Because the way that radio ratings are done, the people listening in your home market who wear these little beepers, there's about, in the Seattle market, for example, there's about 1,400 people total that actually make a difference in ratings. If you didn't do that, if you didn't wear that little beeper-sized device, all the interactions in the world didn't help us. But I think what's great about what we get to do now is however you interact with what we do, whether you're buying something from the merch store, watching on YouTube, watching on Twitch, listening to the podcast, all of it matters. Like every single minute, every single click matters and it counts. And I think that's such a cool thing that we get to do now.
I've never really thought about that. I mean, obviously, I know it's different, but I've never really thought about the fact that not that they didn't before, but legit every person matters in any capacity.
And that's the difference. Obviously everyone mattered regardless of where we were or what we were doing, but they didn't count towards the goals that we were being judged on.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And now everything does count.
Metric-wise, everyone matters, obviously.
Yeah.
Everyone did before. Ashley messaged, she said, "I remember when you guys were on the radio." It's funny you say that because Ashley had DM'd me about 2 weeks ago and something about the show, watching on Twitch, and she's like, "I used to listen to you on the radio when I was going to school," or whatever she said. And I was like, "Girl, you're making me feel real old." It was like elementary school or something. Or no, sorry. She said when I was a kid going to school. And I was like, what?
It is crazy when, especially from middle school to high school, because when you think about it, it's not that long of a time period in the grand scheme of things, right? It's 5 years from being an 8th grader to being in college. But it sounds so different.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different person.
Yeah. Real quick, I saw a comment in the chat about getting more sizes on the You Look Great store. Email us, hello@carlamarineanthony.com if you have any issues. And also, like Mike did, if you ever just want to email us for any reason, you can do that. We're also going to go into a little bit of a dilemma that someone is going through, and they emailed us as well at hello@carlamarineanthony.com.
A few things. I saw there was a question about the plum crew neck in extra large.
That's the one,
I just texted to see if it actually sold out or if there's an issue on the site, but it may have actually sold out, which is wild because and if something sells out in a pre-order, that means that just the inventory of where we're getting the blanks from is low in that color. So if that happened, that's crazy because when we checked, there was high in everything. So maybe that color, that's a new color. I bet you it's just selling out because people are wild.
Well, that means a lot of people bought them, which is cool.
Court in Columbus said, did CM get Taylor Swift tickets? I did not. I didn't even try because...
The dynamic pricing thing is ridiculous.
Well, yes. And in my mindset, also, she's coming to Seattle in July. And that's such a weird time because I don't know if I'm going to be traveling and anything. Okay. So, yeah. Apparently, there was no extra large at all in that color.
Interesting. Then that might be an issue that we can get resolved soon. So.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Oh, so dynamic pricing. It's Meg, not Megan, just asked in the Twitch chat, what is dynamic pricing? So think of dynamic pricing like airline tickets, how they go up and down depending on demand and time of day and all of the time of year, all of that stuff. That's what they were doing for Taylor Swift's concert. And the interesting thing is a lot of people were like, oh, well, don't give Taylor Swift any crap because it was probably a Ticketmaster thing. She probably had no idea. But it's been reported that I guess they wanted to do that with Ed Sheeran's tour, and he declined.
So it's two-part.
The artist could have had an opportunity to say, don't do that to my fan base and my audience.
So apparently he also did something which my chem did, Anthony, when you went to the show, of the person who buys the tickets has to show their ID at the door.
Yep.
So that's what I think Ed Sheeran did. So I think maybe he was... Because it's like some websites say he did dynamic pricing and some say he didn't. But either way, he required ID, which is how they're trying to control the price of tickets and stop people from reselling them. Because what will happen now is people got on to buy them because they want to just resell them. But it's the name of the person who buys them that needs to be there with the ticket. It's
there
crazy.
are ways, even if you do, like, let's say you're buying them as a gift, there are ways to transfer the tickets from your email and from your ID to someone else. It's a little more laborious, right? It's a little more time. It takes up a little more time. So the idea is that most people who are buying specifically to scalp the tickets or to resell them are not going to go through that process.
No.
So is it foolproof? Absolutely not. But does it probably reduce the resale market a little bit? And when I did the My Chemical Romance concert, they did a great job. Everyone needed ID, and it was just a much smaller venue, and it was also one day, so it was probably easier for all parties involved to do it. I'm assuming with Taylor Swift doing shows in every city in America, basically, it's a bigger undertaking.
It's crazy. Has she come out and said anything about this yet?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen anything. She's been pretty quiet about it.
And she's not someone who holds her tongue, so...
Interesting.
We'll see what happens there. Who would you rather see, Carlin, Taylor Swift or Ed Sheeran? Both very different shows. Because Ed does most of his stuff. Like, there's not a lot of pyrotechnics or anything. It's just Ed, I think I'd
have more fun at Taylor Swift.
Really?
I've seen them both. While Ed is just a great show to go to, I'd have more fun at Taylor Swift. And I'm all about that fun.
We went actually to the Tacoma Dome, and I've seen Ed Sheeran perform his whole thing.
So good.
Phenomenal. I don't think I've ever seen a full Taylor Swift show. I've seen her many times.
What are you talking about? We went to Lumen Field. We were...
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a crazy time. I kind of forgot that even happened.
Yes, it was forgettable.
Well, it wasn't forgettable. It was just, we were switching radio stations at the time.
Were
it was
we?
kind of yeah. That was our third day on nights at Kiss FM. Because we had, and I don't know if she's in the chat, but Realtor Jen can back me up here because we did an event outside of Henry's.
Oh, it was that night. Oh, you're right. I forgot.
And that's where we met her for the first time. Is that it?
So that would have been spring 2018.
Yeah. So I guess I have seen them both live. Man, that's tough.
Yeah, I'll go Taylor Swift on that. But you know what, though? Percentage-wise, I bet you I know more Ed Sheeran songs.
No, there's no way.
these last two albums, like Folklore,
Oh, true.
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, that's true. I guess overall I like Ed Sheeran stuff more from like beginning to end because the last couple of Taylor albums just weren't for me. They're
This
not.
one's nice.
They're okay. They're not bad albums, but when you set the bar as high as she did, it's hard to keep that going.
I tell you what, I don't think that regular Swifties agree with this. I'm a Reputation Swiftie. That's one of my favorite albums.
What's on Reputation?
Big Reputation. Endgame.
Okay. What else? Isn't Red
Getaway.
like her biggest one?
Maybe. Getaway Car is on that one, I believe.
What album is Shake It Off on?
Is it 22?
Oh, yeah, 1989.
No,
1989 was the name of the album. That was like the big one, right? Yeah, 1989.
but 22 is on 1989. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Erica Shea should be involved in this conflict.
She should be.
But too bad she's a cat and she can't talk.
But Erica Shea has like a real job. What a loser. People with real jobs.
Oh, 22 is on Red.
Okay.
22 is on Red.
Have we talked about the fact that 22 by Taylor Swift got me into, oh no, it was Chainsmokers, got me into a wrestling autobiography. Did we talk about that here?
We definitely have. But by all means, tell the
Well,
story.
because I did it with 22 as well. There were 2 years in a row where I got to go to WrestleMania and do like bits with the wrestlers. And the first year I had them sing 22 by Taylor Swift. And the second year I had them do the selfie song by the Chainsmokers. And in Daniel Bryant's autobiography, he mentions doing promo at some point. He's like, sometimes you talk in depth about wrestling and sometimes some random person is asking you to do the Chainsmokers selfie song in a video. And that random person was me.
That would be you. That's funny.
Yeah. My favorite experience though with the 22 version that I did with the wrestlers was what was his name? CM Punk. Are you familiar with CM Punk, Carla Marie?
Of course I am, because my brother calls me that because my initials.
Oh, that makes sense. So CM Punk was in WWE at the time. The WrestleMania event was going to be held here at the Meadowlands. So I got to go and do a bunch of interviews and whatnot. And beforehand, before I have any of these wrestlers sing, because it's a big thing to ask them, I always do the interview first. And I say, by the way, before you go, if we can get you to do this for 15 seconds, you have every opportunity to say no pressure at all. And every single wrestler, except for one, has agreed to do it.
Who said no?
Who said no? Her name was AJ, and it was CM Punk's, she was dating someone at the time. But AJ was the only person to say no.
Well, guess what? Don't even know her, so good job. Maybe if you did it, people would know who you are.
I think she was the women's champion at the time. But this was also a couple years ago. Anyway. What?
Zoom said we're cheap and we only have 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll take the intermission and we'll come back. It'll take 2 seconds. Everything's already set up. So I did the whole spiel to CM Punk. And I was like, hey, man, totally understand if you don't want to do this, but this is what we're doing. It's a Taylor Swift song. It's called 22. It's 4 lines. That's it. And he looked at me straight face and he goes, what makes you think I wouldn't do that? I was like, no, I didn't say you wouldn't do it. I'm just saying you don't have to do it. He goes, do you not think I like Taylor Swift? And I'm like, no, man. You can like whatever music you want. It doesn't matter to me. And then he broke and he started laughing. He's like, just so you know, my girlfriend and Taylor Swift are really good friends. So I'd love to do this song.
Who was his girlfriend?
I don't know.
Is it Abigail?
I don't know.
Okay, I pinned this message to the top of the chat.
Yes.
It's from Holla at Ha. He said, Ant walked around for a week in character in preparation for his wrestling interviews. Guy asked us to call him Macho Rajul Anthony Savage.
Yeah, it's true. It's 100% true. Everything that Hobbs says is 100% true. Hey, Hobb, are you in Jersey? Let me know. Anyway, Carla Marie, what Jersey thing have you done since you've been here?
Eat.
Because I did get a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese this morning.
I didn't. Yeah, I actually haven't eaten anything yet today. Crazy. From landing to going to bed, this is my menu, okay? I had a cookie, a stuffed pepper, salad, olives, a Philly roll, miso soup, and some udon noodles. Oh, and a hot chocolate.
All right.
That was in 6 hours.
So you're packing it in. I mean, every bear's got to hibernate, you know? It makes
So
sense.
I got to get all my Jersey food in before I go back to Seattle.
Texas Chris said, would love to read an Anthony biography written by Hav. It would be entertaining.
I would trust him.
Hav, are you up for the job? I will commission you to write my autobiography from birth to today. Whatever you know.
I woke up this morning and I went to Orange Theory in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And I almost canceled because I was so tired, but I was like, I got to go. I'm glad I went. It was a great workout. But I started laughing in the middle of the class because I saw someone wearing workout gear that had cheetah print. And I was like, you can't make it up. I've literally never seen a cheetah print workout item in anywhere in Seattle.
New York and New Jersey love cheetah print. So Carla, you were with me when this happened. Or actually, I think you were a couple feet away, so I don't know if you heard it. But yesterday when we were getting our luggage at Newark Airport, it was taking a little while to come out, and by the time our bags came out, I'd say half the crowd had left. And I'm waiting for my bag to come around, and there was an older woman to my left who said, "Oh, that's my bag," and it was coming by me. So I said, "Would you like me to grab it?"
She pointed to you to tell you.
She just pointed. I think she was pointing to the guy next to her, but the bag was closer to me at this point. And I said, "Would you like me to grab it?" She said, "Yes." So I pick it up, put it by her. That was supposed to be the end of the interaction. And this is going to sound messed up at first, but then she looks at me. She goes, "Thanks so much. I have cancer and I shouldn't have been picking that up." And then walked away.
What?
And I was like, and as she's walking away, I didn't know what to say. I just said, "Good luck." I didn't know what else to say.
It's not funny, but that's...
No, I think the fact that she just dropped that and walked away from a complete stranger is actually kind of funny.
I'll be honest with you. I think, knock on wood, if I'm ever in that situation, I might do things like that. Just to make it so that people talk about it more, right? And it's not like, hush, hush. It's like, "Oh, thank you, I have cancer." Like, you get a coffee, "Thank you, I have cancer."
But also at the same time, it's like, you can't just drop that on a stranger.
She did, though.
She did. Oh, she absolutely did. And just walked right away. Didn't even, I don't know what she would have acknowledged to me saying good luck. I don't know if she heard me. Because I was, at first, for the first, 5 seconds, I stared at her. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Was she saying it to be, funny?
No, she just said, "I have cancer and I shouldn't have been, I can't be picking up heavy things like that," or something along those lines. Once she dropped, "I had cancer," I kind of blacked out.
"You look great," is what you should have said.
I should have. But just walked right on out, rolled her luggage directly out. I guess the better thing I could have said was, "Well, do you need any other further assistance?" I didn't. I just said, "Good luck," like an idiot.
B-Delp said, "I was getting a pedicure once and a random stranger dropped that on me."
But were you in conversation with a stranger, or did they just say that, turn to you in the massage chair, say it, and turn back around?
Definitely in conversation.
And that's a little different if you're talking about your lives and you have some time, about 20 minutes or so to talk. This was just, bam, going to give you the facts and walk away.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lisa said, "Look at it this way. That's why you should be nice to everyone. You never know what someone's going through until you do." True. But I was being nice. It's not like I was being an asshole. And she was like, "By the way, I have cancer." Jerk. Let's see how much time we have. We have 4 minutes left in Zoom until we have to take an intermission and come back, because I'm not paying Zoom. How much do they charge?
I don't remember. I bought it during COVID a bit. I have no idea.
You bought it a bit?
I bought it during COVID for a bit
Okay.
of time.
Does anyone have the Pro Zoom account? You guys know how much this costs? Whatever it is, it's not worth it.
I am trying to make it more of my life to overhear, listen to strangers' conversations, basically eavesdrop as much as possible, because I think it makes great conversation for what we do.
Well, yeah.
And yesterday, the couple next to me on the airplane, they had window and middle seat. I overheard them talking, and it was very clearly their first time coming to New York. And this is one of my favorite things. I was telling my parents yesterday about flying from Seattle to Newark Airport. There's always someone on the plane whose first time it is coming to New York City. Or just even coming to New York City for vacation. And you're like, "What? Tell me about your trip. Where are you going?" And I love that. So I was listening to these two, and I hear them. They're looking out the window as we're like landing, and the girl's like, "Oh my God, New Jersey is so small for a state."
she's not wrong. It's a tiny state.
And I was
One of the
I
smallest,
laughed.
you might say.
I just laughed out loud. Obviously, and they were like, and it was hard for me to hear them. I was really trying to listen so hard. I'm like, "What are you saying?" I want to comment, but I didn't.
Where would you? I'll look it up in a second, so don't look it up, Carla Marie. Where do you think, off the top of your head, Jersey lands in terms of state size? So let's say, I think Rhode Island is the smallest, so Rhode Island would be number 1. So where would Jersey
I
be?
thought Delaware was smaller than Rhode Island.
No, I think Jersey is number
5.
It's tough. I don't know where it lands with the triangle states, Vermont and New Hampshire.
It's smaller than Vermont.
You think so?
Definitely.
Because Vermont comes down to a little point. It's like a little pizza.
Definitely smaller than Vermont.
I'm going to say it is the 4th largest.
Okay, wait. Delaware, Rhode Island, New Hampshire.
States
I'm with you
by
4th, though.
size.
I just did the math.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, Lenny's right. Rhode Island's the smallest state with the biggest name. What's the largest state? Texas? Or
Alaska.
California? I always forget about that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what we forgot about? Damn it. I always forget this state exists. No offense to anyone who's listening from there or watching from there. Connecticut. I always forget about Connecticut.
New Jersey Junior.
Here we go.
So it's 5th. I was right.
You were right. It goes.
The first time.
Rhode Island is the smallest, followed by Delaware, then Connecticut. Hawaii is smaller than New Jersey.
Get out of town.
I thought if you put them all together, they'd be bigger, but apparently not. Then Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont. So you were right originally, Carla Marie. You should have never agreed with me.
I didn't. I said 5.
No, then you said I agree with you, 4.
B Delp said I'm from Connecticut. Thanks, Tones.
Yeah, listen, it's a small state. And the problem that I have with Connecticut is, as small as it is, anytime I've driven up to the Northeast, like to Vermont or New Hampshire, Connecticut, for some reason, takes the longest to get through. I don't know if the roads just all go sideways, but like there's no straight shot through Connecticut. It feels like it takes forever.
Less than a minute. I'm going to send you a new invite.
All right, well, I'm going to hit the intermission. We will be back in... And we are back.
Look at everybody keeping the convo going. How cute.
There we go. And we can make this. Let's see if this
Can you hear me?
works out. There we go. I can hear you.
Oh, that was so cute.
What?
Everyone was keeping the convo going.
So I do want to get into this email in a second, but I also need to talk about something that happened to me yesterday. So on the way back, as I was coming back from the airport, I knew that with the time delay or the time change and not sleeping for a whole day, basically, I was going to be exhausted today. So I stopped at GNC on Route 17 to get some pre-workout, some canned pre-workout. And I saw they had one for sale. So I picked up that.
A different brand than normal?
It's just a brand. I don't even know what the brand is called. But I've had them before, and it's fine. But every can was supposed to be $1.20. I was like, that's pretty cool. So I bought 4 cans. Took them to the checkout, and he rang all of them up as like $2.50. It's like, well, I wouldn't have bought 4 cans. I thought they were on sale. So I said, hey, I think they're on sale, and I showed him the little sticker that was on there. He said, oh, you're right. So then he rings everything up again, but now he rings them all at 50 cents. Again, the difference in dollars isn't really a lot in any of this. But he rings them all up. I think it was actually at 52 cents exactly. So he says, whatever, $2.08 is the total. And I'm sitting there as I give him my card, and he's fiddling with the machine for a little bit. I'm like, do I say anything? Do I say anything?
Yes.
And finally, I was like, hey, man, I think you actually undercharged me this time. And he looked at me and goes, are you sure? And I was like, well, it says these are 125, whatever they were. And it looks like you charged me 52 cents. And he looked at me, he looked at the machine, and he had fiddled with the machine for a while, like he was having trouble with it. And he just looked at me and goes, you know what? I charged you already. Just go. It's fine. I was like, all right, I just wanted to make sure you didn't get in trouble later or anything. He said, no, don't worry about it. And I walked out. And that was it. But I was sitting there, I said, would I have been...
So you robbed from GNC.
Well, no, I didn't. I told them. They let me go. So maybe it was fraud on their part or some sort of issue there, but not on mine. I was honest.
I think they're going to be okay.
I think the company at large will be fine losing out on whatever 52 cents.
You have to be honest in those situations, because the next time something goes wrong in your life, you're going to be like, it's because I wasn't honest at GNC.
Well, but here's the question. was I only honest because it wasn't a big deal? Like, if I was going to go buy a car and they undercharged me $7,000,
Yeah, I don't think I'd tell
would
those
I have
people.
said anything? Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Claire said if GNC files for bankruptcy tomorrow, we all know why.
Hey, listen, that was their choice. That was their choice. They could have done whatever they wanted at that point. And this is Kiss My AstroTurf in the Twitch chat said, yes, price matters.
To who?
And I think in terms of our honesty as humans.
Oh, yes.
Right, like if you had one of the lottery tickets that didn't win and you knew it didn't win, but like somehow they gave you $1 million, are you saying anything?
I am never speaking again. I'm taking my money and hiding on an island somewhere.
So the fact that this is only like going to be $1.50 difference for me didn't really matter.
Well, I think it would be because that guy would get in trouble.
And I think part of it is also, how much am I willing to sell my conscience for? Like, I would have left that store knowing that I shortchanged them a little bit, and I'd been like, all for $2, like, that wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
But if I have to deal with that same type of anxiety for $1 million, it's probably worth it. It's probably worth it. So we've got to get into an issue that one of our Twitch watchers, could be someone in the chat right now, is dealing with, but they did ask for anonymity, so I will not use any names. But
Anonymity?
I said it right.
No, I know.
Oh, okay. So
I hate that word.
This comes to us from person X. Okay.
Give them a fake name. I can't.
Melissa.
Okay.
This
Well, now
comes
we
to
know
us
it's not Melissa.
from someone who's not actually named Melissa.
Okay.
Melissa was planning a trip with some friends,
Okay.
and they had to book an Airbnb, and one of the friends requested that another person was not invited because they didn't believe they were going to come through and they were going to back out at the last second. So the group said, okay, we won't invite this person.
Okay, so one person says, I don't want so-and-so coming on this group trip.
Yes.
Okay.
Fast forward to the actual trip, and they're all getting ready, and this same person who asked for another friend not to be invited told the group that their boyfriend couldn't come anymore because the boyfriend was sick. So the boyfriend had to cancel at the last second. So they all go on the trip. Everyone enjoys it. The following week, the girl, the same person who originally asked for the one friend not to be invited and then whose boyfriend had to bail at the last second, sends everyone a Venmo request trying to get the money back for her boyfriend who didn't show up. Now, the question is...
And this was an Airbnb, right?
This was an Airbnb. What do you do, Carla Marie?
So we were having this conversation at Sam's bachelorette party because we were all just talking. It didn't happen at Sam's, but we were all just talking about what to do at bachelorette parties when that situation happens. And the understanding is, well, everyone knew the price when they were going into it because you said, yes, you were coming. So people agreed to this trip at this price. Because you drop out doesn't mean we all get punished. You still have to pay. I think always. I think if it's your friends decide on their own, like, hey, this emergency happened, let's like help them out or whatever. But if you're just, I'm sick, I can't come, that's the risk you unfortunately run when you're doing this, when your friends are paying as well.
I agree with you. But let's assume for a moment we have to take out one of the main factors here. Let's take out the fact that this friend asked for someone else not to be invited because of this exact situation.
I wasn't even thinking of that.
So if this was a regular scenario and someone gets sick and has to back out, and you're all very good friends, I could see the group coming together and saying, hey, it kind of sucks that they couldn't come and they're paying $500 or whatever it was. I think it was $600. Let me check the email again. Man, where did it go? Oh, maybe she didn't tell us how much it was. Either way, let's say it was around $600. I could see a scenario where all the friends come together and say, it sucks that Eddie wasn't able to come this weekend. What do you think? Why can't we just send him some money back since he wasn't here? But I think
Yeah, you could do half maybe, but the whole, like...
And everyone's in different financial situations, right? Your group of friends, you might have someone where paying the extra $100 is not a big deal at all. You might have someone who that $100 is going to go to groceries that week and they just can't afford it.
Then maybe don't go on a trip.
But I think the issue here, the main point, is not that the boyfriend didn't come, but it's the fact that someone else wasn't invited to avoid this situation.
And then that person.
And it happened anyway, and that person was tied to it.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can get any leniency because of that one very specific factor.
Correct. Deborah said, I missed my girls' trip and still paid for my part of the Airbnb. I didn't ask the rest of the girls to give me my portion back. Angela Spokane said, I agreed it's a risk. This happened to me in this past summer. 4 of the 6 bailed. That's terrible. I only refunded
crazy.
one person because she got COVID, and me and my other friend agreed to refund only her. That's 4 of 6. You're just paying thousands of dollars.
Wait, so only 2 of you went for this bachelorette party? Was it a bachelorette party? Do we know?
Just a friend.
Oh, just a friend.
I believe. A friend trip, sorry. Michelle said, what about if someone can't come to the bachelorette in the entirety? What would be the solution? Asking for a friend. Did you say you were going? If you never said you were going, you do not pay a single penny for anything.
Yeah, I've had friends.
Maybe like send a champagne or something if you can't be there, but you do not pay. No. But if you said you were coming and then you couldn't, and now you back out.
Well, this brings us, we talked about this a long time ago when I was going to my friend's bachelor party. It was a ski trip. And one of the guys, he had run into some financial issues. I think he may have lost his job kind of recently. And he emailed everyone and said, hey, guys, I want to come on this trip. I just can't afford it. If I don't take a room and just stay on the couch, essentially, like, can I pay less or whatever it was? And everyone wanted him there. I didn't know him, so everyone else wanted him there. And we all agreed, yeah, just stay on the couch. It's fine. We didn't want anyone to miss out on the whole bachelor party. But it sucks when you're put in that situation to begin with.
And you don't want people to be excluded from things, but also then you're like watching, like, what are you buying this whole weekend? Are you spending your money on stupid stuff? So it turns out Michelle said if she can only go 3 of the 5 days of the bachelorette party. 2 things here.
I think you pay for those days specifically, right?
Yeah, that's what we did with Sam's. Our friend Laura only came for 2 days, so she paid like a pro-rated rate, I guess. And then she was like, guys, also still include me in the split of other stuff. Like, it's not, and we were like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, we're not doing that. You're not paying for my Uber to the airport. Like,
yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It's not happening. But another thing, a 5-day bachelorette party is not a bachelorette party. That is a vacation.
That's a full-on vacation.
Even Sam, 4 days was a lot. My sister's was the same. Like, you can't expect people to take that much time out of their lives. Oh, literally, bachelor parties and bachelor parties used to be one night.
Mm-hmm. That's
Actually,
true.
bachelorette parties didn't even exist for like the longest time. It was just guys, which is idiotic. But anyway, then it was a dinner and a night out. Yeah. Then it became a hotel stay. Then it became 2 nights. Then a long weekend. Then a longer weekend. Now we're all taking our 2-week vacation. That's all we get to go to somebody's bachelorette party.
I think a long weekend is fine. Like a Friday leading into the weekend makes total sense. If people want to get there early, like Thursday evening, which is some of the bachelor parties that I've attended, that makes sense. But anything more than 3 full days is a big ask.
So Sam's was only supposed to be Thursday through Sunday, but she was like, hey guys, I'm actually going to go into Scottsdale a day early, get a hotel, just if anyone wants to come. And all of us were like, yeah, we could do that. So then then we decided to extend the Airbnb an extra day because it just made more sense.
Yeah.
Because we were all said, yeah, let's go. So that was all on us. My sister's was Thursday through Monday morning, and I think we all should have definitely left on Sunday.
Well, but you left, because you left Monday morning. So you guys were still partying on Sunday?
Yeah, we just did a dinner, but still, like, it's a lot. It's not like everyone's, like, working during the day and hanging out during night. Like, it's around the clock activities and drinking. It's exhausting.
It does get very expensive. And not yesterday, but on Tuesday when we were talking about wedding gifts and whatnot, remember I said something about like it's not my responsibility to pay for your wedding as a guest? Someone had asked, well, what is the gift if you're part of the wedding party? And it's an interesting dilemma because you're actually paying way more if you're like girls. I don't know. Do you guys buy your dresses or rent them?
Yes. We buy them. This is different with Sam's wedding. It's sponsored by, oh my God.
It's not your sponsorship.
No, but I just beholden.
Okay.
It was driving me nuts.
So your dresses are coming from this company for free, I take it?
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful thing.
But like, and I've been in weddings and it's been great. Like my friend Steve a year ago asked me to be in his bridal party, and it was awesome. But we still have to rent the tux, right? You're paying to go to a bachelor party, usually, or a bachelorette party. There are so many additional expenses that you're paying because you're part of that party. So why would your gift be more? Is the question.
You should just not give a gift.
It's just, and I don't know what the answer is. I mean, the person's closer to you, obviously, if they asked you to be in their wedding party. So yeah, you can give a bigger gift, but it's just an interesting dilemma.
I know.
Because if that's the case, being a good friend to a lot of people gets really expensive. Like, think of Erica, our friend Erica, who is in a different bachelorette party every third weekend.
Like, and she has to fly to all of these things.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I get it. Like, this is what we've done this. We have created this. This is everybody's fault. We're all in this because one day I'll be asking my friends to do the same thing. But the hope is you've been through it and you get it and you want to make it easier on people and whatever.
Let's see. B. Delps, shout out to Connecticut, said, my husband was just in a wedding, bachelor party, tux, hotel, rehearsal, dinner, and a day off. That's right. Sometimes you got to take a day off for work too. So you're losing money by being part of this as well.
My sister is like one of her last friends to get married. And she's had the same group of friends since they were like kids. And there's a big group of them. And she was like, oh no, I went to all these effers bachelorette parties and I did all this and I planned this. They're doing everything for me. So she was like, I'm going all out because I had to do it for all of them. And I was like, but why am I being punished?
Yeah.
I haven't done any of this. So yeah, that was fun. But
let's see. Claire said, I'm glad Sam's wedding is next Friday when you'll already be in New Jersey. Yeah, that does help a lot. Although it's interesting.
My sister's baby shower, my sister also kind of planned it around this for me. So that's this Sunday.
But it's interesting with Sam's wedding because it does work out for Carla Marie and I because we have to come here for the holidays. But there are a lot of people from Elvis's show who have to go elsewhere for the holidays and can't just turn around that next morning and come back to New Jersey. So it's an interesting time to have a wedding. I was actually talking to my brother about this yesterday. I don't know if it's a cheaper or more expensive day or if it's just the same. Is it cheaper on Black Friday? That's good then.
I think so.
Your camera freaks me out, Carla Marie, because when you move a little bit, it's like a really weird horror movie. Except I have also noted that Zoom is trying to adjust the lighting on mine, so it gets brighter and darker because the sun's hitting right off my forehead, and this thing is shiny.
Everyone keeps commenting on how great the lighting is. There's not a single light on this room. This is the Jersey sun.
Yeah, I just got the sun coming off the window. I do have a little tiny GoPro light, but I don't think this is actually doing anything. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Yeah. This guy. Makes me feel better, though, that I have it there. Yeah. Let's see. B. Delp said definitely cheaper. My Friday wedding was cheaper over a Saturday. But is Black Friday cheaper than other Fridays?
Yes. Sam mentioned it in the podcast. Claire just brought that up.
What?
That Sam said it was much cheaper.
Oh, that's good.
There was a message I pinned I wanted to read from Meech. She said, you guys, I was invited to a bachelorette party on a cruise. It would be Wednesday through Monday, but it's one of my very, very best friends, and I've never even done that with my family or husband.
That's an interesting one. I mean, part of me thinks that's actually really cool for your friend to do because how often do you get to do that?
And I was recently thinking, I'm like, could I get Norwegian like to do a thing for my friends and I if that's what I want to do, like a short one?
Yeah. Because
cruises aren't necessarily the best place to go if you want to like party, right? That's not the kind of vibe that you get. You can, but it's not really the like, woo!
Like not on an Alaska cruise, but on a Caribbean cruise you can.
Yeah, you're right. On a Caribbean cruise, yes. But here's why I do love it is because you pay one price and that's it.
In most cases, yeah.
There's no, like, you kind of know what you're paying once you get into it. Where I'm almost willing to bet that cruise might be less money than it cost me, depending where it leaves from, than it cost me for Sam's bachelorette and my sister's bachelorette party.
Maybe. And listen, is it a lot to ask of someone? Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can't just come for a few days.
The dates, Wednesday to Monday, that's a lot.
Yeah, and you can't just go for like, oh, I'm just going to come for 2 nights because you're not getting dropped off via helicopter.
I mean, if you get your own helicopter, maybe. But I do. It's weird. It's one of those things where it's a cool experience because not a lot of people do that, but it's also that's a big ask. And I'm assuming who said that, Carla Marie, in the chat?
Meech, she just said, and with people with kids, that's a lot to ask.
It is.
She has a kid.
I would assume that if you're doing that, it's a smaller group of people. It's like a 4 or 5, maybe 6-person bachelorette. And let us know in the chat. I can't imagine that being like my friend Steve had 20 people at his bachelor party.
30.
Yeah, I think it was actually 28 now that I think about it.
Scotty said,
if they 16
do that,
people, she said. Sorry.
What in the actual? What are you guys? How many?
That's
and then
crazy.
rooms are double occupancy, I believe. So you have to be paired up with somebody.
But that is expensive.
And I don't think you can put 3 people to a room, but there's only certain rooms, and your rooms aren't going to be near each other. And you definitely want them near each other on a cruise, because communicating is not always the best on a cruise.
Yeah.
Okay. Scotty said that cruise should be available for all the families to join, but then do like ladies' night, ladies' events only.
I disagree. And I'll tell you why, but I also wanted to point out a comment from Drown You Out who said, you can ask for your friends to come to a bachelor or bachelorette party like that, like a 5-day cruise, but you cannot be mad when they say no. I think you have to go into that understanding there's a lot of people that aren't going to make this, and that's fine. I disagree with Scotty's statement about inviting the families and stuff, because I think part of, especially if you have a family, part of it is for you to get away. Mm-hmm. Like having those responsibilities, if you have kids or something during the day, kind of takes away from what you can do if you did want to escape at night and go with your family. So I think even though it's a nice thought, I don't think it lends itself well to what you're trying to accomplish at a bachelor or bachelorette party, which doesn't mean you're trying to do anything terrible, but you are trying to get away and enjoy yourself with your friends and focus on that part of your life.
Yeah.
I could also be totally off.
No, you're right. I don't know. I don't know what the best
Say that.
answer
What was that,
is.
Carla? I didn't hear you.
What? Oh, it zoomed over.
Sorry, what?
The
What
Zoom
was that?
ended. I'm not here anymore.
I thought you said I'm right, which is weird.
No, you are partially right. And like, there's no, you're going to spend money no matter what, unless you're just doing a one night. Like my best friend Alex is getting married in January. She's doing one night out, or it's like a day thing where she lives. And unfortunately I can't even get there, which sucks. So she and I are going to do something on our own together. But unless you do that, it's going to cost hundreds, if not over $1,000.
It's usually at this point, I feel like it's just over $1,000.
Well, for me, I have to fly wherever it is, right? So, like, even if everyone's like, we're just going to go to New York City, all my friends, like, it doesn't matter. I'm flying. And flights aren't, like, a flight, I mean, I had points for Sam's, but it was going to cost me like $300 for a flight.
Yeah.
Then the Airbnb was $500-600 right there. It's just, this is what we've done to ourselves.
Angela in Spokane said, yeah, no kids or families allowed. It's about the bride or groom. How do you feel? And I feel like we've talked about this before.
Ask.
How do you feel about the joint parties?
I think a joint party is so fun. However, here's the reasons I don't like it. If I did that, I would also still want my own thing. Because your time with your girls, your time with your guys, that's not easy to come by.
Yeah.
Especially when you're getting married and everyone has kids and you're doing things as couples. You don't get that time with your girls. And you're never going to be with that group of people like that ever again. So that's why I like just girls, just guys. But if you do that, right, then you're opening it up to, well, does that guy's girlfriend get invited or wife get invited even though she's not in my wedding party?
Why?
I invite?
Why would they?
Okay, so say you're doing a combined trip, right?
Yeah.
Say we're getting married and I have my bridesmaids and you have your bridesmans, whatever they're, groomsmen.
I like bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And say I only wanted my bridal party and you only wanted your bridal party, right?
Yeah.
For example, we'll do Steve and Becca. Steve is one of your best friends. Becca likely wouldn't be in our bridal party.
Okay.
So do we invite her on that trip because
No.
we're having girls there and we're having guys there? Why wouldn't his wife be invited?
Because she's not part of that group.
Just saying, it makes things a little fishy for people.
Well,
Fishy.
that's not my problem with it. My whole problem with that concept is that's what the wedding is for.
Yeah, but
The wedding is supposed to be the party with everybody, right? So
But
why
here's
are
the-
you doing a little mini wedding without everybody else?
I know, but I do like I don't know any of William's groomsmen for Sam's wedding. I know none of them. Never met a single one of them.
And
I don't know who my partner is.
But you'll probably never see them again.
But I feel like
Like they're not going to be in your life because you walk down that aisle with them.
But I would I get being a bride or a groom and wanting your groups to kind of gel, right? Like you don't want them to not know each other at all. Like my sisters, I knew everyone. We had so much fun, obviously. Yeah. Not that we won't have fun at Sam's, but I feel like there's something there. Like because I just met a lot of her friends at the bachelorette party, we're gonna have so much more fun at the wedding.
True, and Soira in Central Jersey in the chat brings up a good point. She said, but bachelor and bachelorette parties are not just for the people in the bridal parties.
I'm completely with you in that my personal preference would be that I have a very small bridal party and a very large bachelorette party.
Like my friend Steve, the most recent wedding I was a part of, I was in the wedding party, but his bachelor party was 20 something people. They weren't all in the wedding party. That would have been ridiculous.
No,
I think I think that party, the bachelorette party, could be used as you're still very important to me, but you're just not in my wedding party.
It's funny you say that because when we were at Sam's, obviously, I think there were only three of us who are not married. So we never had a bachelorette party. And we were kind of talking about like the things that we would want. And I was like, I think I would have 15 to 20 girls in my bachelorette party because I think it would be such a fun time for me to get that group of people together, like kind of force them to be together for me because one of the things Sam said was her favorite part is getting to see all the women in different parts of her lives gel together and have their own conversations. And she was like getting to hear you guys, like Kate and I never met Kate before. I was in Kate's room having a long conversation and Sam walked in and was like, what are you guys doing? And it was,
well, you're a friend stealer, so I wouldn't trust you.
So I'm like, oh, I would love to see like my sister hanging out with Erica, but also have Danielle there. And like, how fun would that be? So obviously, I'm not going to have that many people in my bridal party because I'm not batshit crazy. No offense. I witnessed my sister do it. But I think it would be so fun to have everyone together.
So 2 points that came up in the chat. One is from Eats and Tweets, who said, the rehearsal dinner is a good bonding time for wedding parties.
The rehearsal dinner would be a Thanksgiving dinner for Sam.
Well, but Sam's wedding is kind of, it's not common because you're not going to, this week or the coming week, it's just very difficult to have a legitimate wedding rehearsal because people have Thanksgiving. The other thing that came through was from Jen in Jersey, who said, my partner down the aisle at my friend's wedding and I only met that day and we're still friends today.
Oh, I love that.
So I think the wedding is where everyone parties anyway.
I have no idea who I could be partnered with. I wish I could be partnered with Jake.
You know what's funny is I don't remember who I walked with at my friend Steve's wedding.
I don't either, and you would think I would because I'd want to.
Want to what? Take her place and walk down the aisle?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I know it was one of Becca's friends, but I don't remember who it was specifically.
I don't either at all.
Am I a bad person? Probably. But I didn't steal anything from GNC yesterday, so that makes up for it.
Yeah.
Although I guess I did, because I still paid $2.
You were allowed to steal.
Yeah, sure.
I think I even said to Sam, like, who's my partner? And she's like, I haven't figured that out yet. I was like, what?
That sounds like everything that I've heard from this wedding. That checks out.
This wedding, this is just Sam and William and how they go about their lives.
Yeah. Yep. I walked with our friend's nephew at the time. He's 16 now, and he's like a foot taller than me.
That's funny.
Said Lisa. What else do we have here in the chat? Because we do have to get out of here at some point.
Yeah, we got to go soon.
Oh, Texas Chris. I'm divorced and never had a bachelor party, and I am a little bitter. Well, Chris, maybe down the road, maybe it happens again and you do a bachelor party this time.
My older sister.
Chris also lives in like the bachelor party capital of the U.S.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
My older sister got married at 23, but she was pregnant. So she just never did a bachelorette party. And I'm like, I know she's never going to watch this, so I'm going to say this. I want to do like she turns 50 next year, and I want to do like a surprise bachelorette party, but for her 50th birthday. I think it'd be so cool.
Does she have to wear like a penis crown?
Penis everywhere.
Yeah.
She would love it. I don't want the penis.
With glitter, because it's your family.
Oh, she's the glitter queen.
I thought your mom was the glitter queen.
I guess then my sister's the glitter princess.
Okay. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Also, I did say that Austin is the bachelor bachelor party capital of the U.S. Obviously, Vegas is the bachelor party capital of the U.S.
Do you think more? I think there's definitely more bachelor parties that go to Vegas.
Yeah.
But I don't know that bachelorette parties are going to Vegas anymore.
Well, what about like the Magic Mike show or Thunder Down Under? Like someone's got to keep those businesses open.
But there's also Chippendales Thunder Down Under in Scottsdale.
What did you just say? Chippendales Under?
And Thunder Down Under.
You didn't say those words. You did not say those words.
They're also in Scottsdale. I don't know. There's a lot. Because I was, again, doing the hunt of like, where's a cool place to go for a large bachelor party? And Charlotte, North Carolina, or a place in South Carolina came up because I was looking for big houses.
Oh.
That's the one.
Yeah, Nashville is definitely one of those places. Thank you for the hydration reminder, Merrick.
My water's empty.
Nashville is definitely bachelorette capital. Scottsdale is up there as well. Austin. Miami's a pretty good spot too, I would say.
Miami's fun. I think I would purposely make my group go somewhere super obscure. I don't know, Oklahoma. What happens there?
Not a lot.
Hawaii is where we're going.
Talk about expensive trips. That's an expensive one over there.
I'm going to ask my family to fly 14 hours.
There's nothing that local Hawaiians want more than a bunch of groups going in there wearing penis hats screaming. I'm sure that really is what they want.
Oh, Hav is right. Baltimore is the bachelorette capital.
No, that's where Hav had his bachelor party. That's why he said that. And as far as I wasn't there, but from what I know, they dealt with like a monsoon for most of the time they were there.
Were you not invited?
I was invited, but that was at a time in my life where I thought I had to be at work all the time and I couldn't get out. So I didn't go. Yep. Big mistake. Hav, I apologize. I love you.
You guys, you said you weren't invited.
I wasn't. Screw you. I hate you. I was invited.
Maybe you and Hav should do you should take him on a bachelor weekend.
I would, but I'm busy that day. I would. I totally would. And we tried, but I was just so busy that day. Tater Tot couldn't do it.
What the fuck's Tater Tot?
Didn't he call me Tater or Tater Tot in this chat one day?
Yeah,
all right. It is time for us to get out of here. Thank you very much for hanging. We will be back Monday morning. For Spud, that's what it was. For anyone who
now it's Tater Tot, but now you're Tater Tot.
No, I think I took the Tater Tot thing from a combination of Napoleon Dynamite and a Ron White comedy special. They used to call me Tater Salad. That one. For anyone who had issues this morning on Spotify, because I know, Carla Marie, you had an issue where it didn't refresh right away.
Yeah.
And then I'd had one message from someone who said they listen every morning, and it wasn't on Spotify, so they wanted to see what was up.
I closed the app, it opened, and it was there.
And that's all you got to do. If it ever doesn't update right away, especially on Spotify, close the app, open it up, and it should be there. And sometimes if you haven't listened for a couple days, first off, shame on you. Second off, sometimes you just have to scroll because it'll give you the last one that you listened to on top.
Which is nice of them. But I was driving to my workout, and I was like, oh, let me put on the podcast. And I was already on my way there, and it wasn't loading. And I was driving, so I couldn't check all the apps. So I start calling Anthony, panic calling him. He's not answering. So I text his mom, and I was like, can you please wake Anthony up?
It was a flashback because I was actually sleeping in the room that I lived in when I went to high school in my parents' house because I moved a couple rooms. There's 3 of them up there. We rotated it for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the room that I lived in high school is where I'm staying now. And I woke up this morning to my mom busting in the door. And I really felt like I was late for Ridgewood High School. Like I was late for my sophomore algebra class, essentially.
I love how serious she took it, though.
Yeah.
Because I said, something's wrong with the podcast. Can you wake him up?
But yeah, that was a straight up flashback this morning that I did not appreciate.
And she got you up quick. Like the second I sent that text, you answered the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what she does. So growing up, I used to not want to get out of bed, which
she must have loved doing it, actually.
Nothing's really changed. But my dad, when he would wake me up, he would do it gently. He would be like, Anthony, you got to wake up for school.
My dad never.
Anthony, come on, you got to wake up for school. He'd come back 2 or 3 times. My mom, after a couple times of my dad failing every morning, would come in. She would rip the blanket off of me and say, get your ass up and go to school. So she had no time for nonsense. And she didn't, thankfully, she was a little nicer this morning when she woke me up.
That's good. That is good.
We will be back Monday morning. Enjoy your weekend. Tomorrow morning, there will be a new episode of the Morning Show podcast. And 10 days left to pick up some You Look Great gear, especially the Christmas styled ones. This You Look Great Christmas, ugly Christmas sweatshirt, whatever, is awesome. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. DM us if you do have questions about sizing. I'm going to get some new photos of Anthony and I posted to the website and social media. We're going to have to we don't have a photographer, so I need someone in your family to take good photos of you.
I'll use the selfie timer.
Oh, God.
Peace out.
You should have those cops outside your house help.
Enjoy your weekend.